Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another political episode. So, it's officially been 1 year since the overturn of Roe v. Wade. I've been working on this video for all day, and you'll notice I may have be very repetitive and say some statements over and over again. That's because I had to film stuff over and over different parts of the day because some videos and some parts of videos and clips were corrupted. Thanks to Gmail, and that was annoying. Thanks to my editor too, Screencast-O-Matic. It's annoying, but anyway, it's a challenge. But I ended up doing this long video, so I hope you guys enjoy. So we'll be looking at elections, the 2022 elections, and see how the overturn of Roe v. Wade and the Dobbs decision has influenced these elections. Obviously, this was a huge historic move made by the Supreme Court and it's also very controversial, and it has very well influenced the 2022 elections. So let's take a little dive into it. First, there were 3 ballot measures being offered. The first coming from California. The first proposition was about the issue of abortion. Proposition 1. Proposition 1 is asking voters to give the constitutional right to reproductive freedom. We have 66% of Californians saying yes to this, and 33% saying no. Ultimately, you'll see by the no, very weak performance when it comes to the no here. So, yes. Here, of course, and you'll see every county voting for the yes column are Democrat counties. However, there are some Trump counties in California that voted for the yes proposition in defending abortion. Central California, especially, is pretty conservative. Plumas County, Placer County, these 2 counties voted for Trump twice. They went to I think Plumas County. I don't know. Yes, they went to. I don't know if Plumas County did, but that's beside the point. But these are 2 typical Republican voting counties that supported this ballot measure of containing and the operating abortions in the state of California. 66%. That's a big result here. And you'll see the weak performances in Central California, Northern California. They only got up to 60% for the no. So anyway, that is the 2022 California proposition. The second proposition is going to be, Kansas. In Kansas, the 2022 Kansas abortion referendum. So on August 2nd, 2022, voters in Kansas were offered a referendum. It was the attempted abortion referendum that would permanently that would stop the said it said here, should there be a no constitutional right to abortion or to require the government funding of abortion. The Kansas is a Republican state. However, it is very libertarian. It is very libertarian to the extreme. Probably the most libertarian state in the whole country. You'll see, although it's very Republican, 59% of voters rejected this referendum, slamming it with a landslide here. August 2nd. So a lot of these, like you'll see in areas like the Kansas City, Wichita area, Topeka, Hutchinson, these counties in green, they voted no to this opposition, but with the majority of them, I wouldn't say would be liberal. A lot of Republicans or conservatives didn't get out and vote in support of this measure. I don't think they got out and supported. So you see counties with barely anything, like this county, supporting abortion rights. This county right here, so it was all over. And I'll tell you, things could have really played out differently if the referendum was held on election day. And I'll get into that in a little bit, continuously in this video. But we saw Laura Kelly winning by just 2%. If she really pushed hard on abortion on her opponent and made this huge deal, I could believe that 59% could go to her. Or I would expect less, like probably 52% would be more of a realistic margin. But yes, I don't know if this was a Republicans' idea to put it in August, but that was a smart move. However, it was a complete failure. The people of Kansas rejected this referendum, abortion remaining legal in the state of Kansas. The state of Michigan also has some elections here. Going out. Oh yeah, and we'll get to Kentucky later on. So we have proposal number 3, and that is the Right to Reproductive Freedom Initiative. Roe v. Wade was very dramatized in the state of Michigan, for sure. You'll see 56% of voters, that is a landslide, voting for a referendum initiative, whatever it may be called, in support of abortion rights. You'll see counties that voted for Trump in northern Michigan voted for this, even in some areas. And when you do a lot of comparing with this map and the 2022 gubernatorial map, they very much look the same. That's because what's her name? Yeah, the Governor Whitmer really campaigned hard on abortion, saying that Tudor Dixon, an anti-abortion to the extreme, would terminate abortion rights in Michigan. So this led to the overall 56% of Michiganders voting yes to this reproductive freedom initiative. In the state of Kentucky, oops, I clicked 2023. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Yeah, Amendment 2, I believe it's called. So yes, this is Amendment 2. Kentucky is a state where abortion is banned. However, this is an attempt to put no right to an abortion in the Constitution. Whether to put this in there. I don't think it supports the legalization, but who knows? We have 52% of Kentuckians voting no to this. Don't put it in the Constitution. And 47% saying yes. Which I believe is interesting. Kentucky is a libertarian state also, but not as libertarian as Kansas may be. So 52% saying no. I don't think abortion is not legal, is illegal in Kentucky, according to my sources. But I think this referendum was amendment was to clarify that in the Kentucky Constitution, there is not going to be a right to an abortion. It may not exist. So yes, there's Protect Kentucky Access. So yeah, you'll see in the map here areas like you're used to seeing this county, Jefferson County, I believe it's called. Is it Jefferson? I don't know. And then there's this county right here. They usually are the two Democrat counties. Well, in reality, we have multiple counties over here voting no. Even the county that holds Frankfurt saying no. Once again, Governor Bashir didn't support this measure. He went against it, and Bashir, being a very popular governor, got concessions out in voting no. So having the governor of Kentucky being pro-choice really does help, and says a lot on what you're going to do about this issue. So Kentucky Amendment 2, that is a no. A slam down no. Then we get to the state of Montana. Oh yeah, here we go. This is referendum 131, and this referendum was an act of adopting the Born Alive Infant Protection Act. This is basically providing that infants born alive, including infants born alive or after an abortion, or legal persons. Now, Montana has always been a staunch abortion state. It's probably second in line for being the most abortion state in the country, or third if you're considering to put Alaska up there. But yes, it's a huge abortion state. It's had pro-abortion governors here. So we got 52% of Montanans voting against this ballot measure. Same amount as Kentucky. But they slammed this one hard. So yeah, Montana has been led by many conservative, liberal governors that put into place that would protect abortion access. So that is that. You'll see Billings, Helena. Those areas are strongly going to said the choice column. So that they are strongly saying no. So let's talk about Vermont. Now, Vermont doesn't have any said elections. Well, they do. They don't have any election maps, though. And that's what we're kind of looking at. So taking a look here, we have a ballot measure saying the ballot measure, this one here says, amends the Vermont Constitution to add a right to reproductive autonomy. 76% of Vermontans voted yes to this. This is the biggest margin for the yes column. So in all 6, I believe it was, we had California, Kansas, Kentucky, Montana, Michigan, and Vermont. All 6 of them endorsed the yes column, endorsed the choice column. So it really does speak how it displays definitely how minded that Roe v. Wade is. So the question is here, did the GOP make a big mistake? What was here? Well, we're going to have to answer that question in a little bit. We're going to continue on talking about the furthermore here. Let's talk about the actual elections. The elections it's kind of different. We'll talk about this was a huge deal, and we're going to talk about those elections, starting with Michigan. The reason why I would think why Tudor Dixon did so bad in her home state of Michigan was because of the abortion. She previously mobilized COVID-19 and mandates, the vaccines, and that helped her to a point. But then there was the Roe v. Wade overturn that really helped Governor Whitmer through that. And Roe v. Wade was a big controversy in the state of Michigan. You'll see. We talked about that already. But looking at the actual gubernatorial performance, Gretchen Whitmer winning 54% of the popular vote, defeating Tudor Dixon by 11 points. That's a blowout. You'll see the map compared to the 2020 to the ballot measure that was in the 2022 elections, and to this map, it pretty much looks the same here. Tudor Dixon, no, never mind, Gretchen Whitmer gaining county results up here, votes over here. This county, they didn't go for Whitmer this time. They went for Dixon. However, they are socially conservative. They will vote for and support pro-choice causes if they deem it necessary. And that ballot measure was a good example. So, yeah, and another thing is Tudor Dixon was unreasonably pro-life. So, although she does support abortion when it comes to in case of the woman's health, she denied exceptions for rape and incest, which really I think the Whitmer campaign really hammered her on that. That was probably one reason why things went downhill for Republicans in Michigan when it comes to that. There is the state of Michigan, and now we'll be talking about the state of Wisconsin. And Wisconsin's election. Yeah, this page is unresponsive. Everything's been unresponsive today, so we'll just load up the 2023 Wisconsin election. So we know this election took place a couple months ago. We see Janet defeating Daniel Kelly by 11 points. And part of the reason was Janet got the voters out and voting. Voters had a reason to go out. A lot of voters were concerned about Roe v. Wade and if Wisconsin was going to ban abortion. And Janet and her campaign really hammered on that. She prevailed in rural areas. She down here, especially down in the south, southeast, southwest, not a lot of people down there, and she still managed to get those votes despite being in a very good conservative location. She also won Kenosha and Green Bay and other areas. So she did a very good job when it comes to that. 55%. She and I would argue with you that Trump supporters didn't get out and vote. They didn't feel the need to get out and vote. Trump didn't even endorse Kelly. He hasn't even campaigned for Kelly in Wisconsin. Ultimately, I feel Republicans were just saying, okay, everything's fine in the state of Wisconsin. Go ahead, do whatever you want. Which that's what turned out to be. Donald Trump didn't get out and vote. Republicans didn't get out and vote because they didn't feel it was necessary. They honestly probably didn't really care. If said Janet won the state of Wisconsin and in this election. So that does say a lot. So Janet winning at 55%, that's 11-point margin when it comes to that. The circuit judge, Jennifer Doro, well, never mind, no, Janet, defeating a major Daniel Kelly. This was definitely a big win for Democrats abroad. So the last state we have is Kansas. And we know Kansas voted overwhelmingly in a referendum in August that would make it illegal to have abortions in the state of Kansas. They voted against it by, remember, a huge margin of 59%. That is a landslide. So, despite this, and it's very important. This was a very important ballot measure. Sure, not everyone votes in the ballot measures. Oh, what if you're not really opinionated about abortion? You think this way, you think that way. Well, most Americans, I feel, have some sort of belief to it. But that August 2nd was a day for Kansans to go out and show their support for the issue. And the results coming out to 59%, that demonstrated, that showed how much Kansans really viewed abortion, how they felt about the issue. So, 59%, that's a lot of liberals right there. Once again, probably Republicans didn't feel like they had to go out in Kansas. They didn't feel like they needed to go out and vote. So that's probably a reason. And that could be true because Derek Schmidt did very well according to this the referendum here, but liberals still managed to win. Governor Kelly managed to win. But I have a question though. How come the referendum determined and stated that abortion would be legal in Kansas, and then Kelly won anyway? Well, there was I don't know. Yeah, it said there was speculation. So what the Democrats did was they mobilized the issue after the referendum, even though it passed with 59% of Kansans saying yes, we think that abortion should be legal in the state of Kansas. Kelly and her campaign managed to mobilize about the issue of abortion and acting like, oh, it's still possible for, if Schmidt is elected governor, it's still possible for him to make it illegal. Sort of like Kentucky, even though that there's 52% of Kentuckians that think abortion should be legal. Kentucky's government is staunchly pro-life. and conservative made it illegal in all actions, in all ways. So yeah, reporters noted the lack of attention towards abortion as an issue in the campaign by both major candidates, despite the defeat of an abortion amendment in August, which was seen as a prominent victory for the pro-choice movement. So yeah, despite the mobilization of the issue of abortion, which really helped and benefited Kelly, definitely, this is what caused Republicans. I would say Schmidt should have mobilized more COVID-19. Let's see if there was COVID. Yeah, there was talks of COVID, but not as much as there was abortion. So you'll see, even in the polls here, Kelly was predicted to win here. Yes, way before. So that concludes the recognition of the second anniversary of the overturn of Roe v. Wade. Anyway, what do you guys think about this? Obviously, this is very controversial. We have people that think this was a total mistake. Republicans shouldn't have done that. It cost them the midterms. Why did they do that? Otherwise, there are Republicans that are supporting this decision. They say, "Oh, we had no choice. We had no. This was the only time we could do this. We have to do it now before whatever could happen." So there's a lot of controversy, very controversial, with this Supreme Court decision, and especially within the Republican Party, because it has caused so much damage to the midterms. Well, I mean, it's not like they lost the whole midterms. Like, there were other, like in Florida, they did very good in Florida. Abortion wasn't a big issue in Florida. New York, it wasn't a big issue in New York. They had a governor that they feel that, and they have a lot of people, a lot of Republicans in New York are more moderate with abortion. And Kathy Hochul was so unpopular as the governor. She was so unpopular. People are like, they didn't care. Oh, I think liberals didn't go out and vote. A lot of them, New York City did. I don't think all the rest did. Republicans went out and voted. Republicans had campaigned aggressively. I know Glenn Youngkin went out there. But it's New York, you know? So, yeah. And so, what do you guys think about this? And anyway, thank you all for watching this political episode. I'll see you guys in the next one.